Learned Behavior by Orphaned Account on AO3. Episode 13, Chapter 3. What do we do, Shouta? Hizashi said. Aizawa sighed and leaned against the counter. I don't know. Should we punish him? Is that the wrong move? I don't want to be too harsh, you know? Maybe. He sighed again. There's just too many variables. Yelling would probably just make him shut down more. A quiet lecture would make him anxious, and chores, I don't know. I think it's a little too much like his old home. Too soon. You're right. Every punishment just feels too harsh. He paused. If this were one of my students, they'd be scrubbing every inch of this house, but... He trailed off. But he's not just a student, is he? No, he's not. They went quiet for a moment, collecting their thoughts. Hizashi started pacing. He stopped mid-pace, smacking a palm to his forehead. We messed up. Aizawa looked at him from where he was leaning. What do you mean? We handled this wrong. We made it seem like he was in trouble. Isn't he? What if he'd been hurt, or kidnapped, or worse? How would we have known? He needs to know what he did was unacceptable. Yes, but we acted mad. We were mad. I'm still mad. Yes, Sho. But we were also scared. And he probably thinks we're only mad at him. Aizawa cursed under his breath and pressed his palm into his eyes. Fuck. Yeah, fuck. Aizawa groaned. No wonder he's terrified. I used my teacher voice. And I could barely keep my quirk under control. We both messed this one up. He paused. Did you hear him? He practically shut down mid-conversation. It wasn't really much of a conversation. He sighed. What do we both do from here? We need to let him cool off. He paused. And we need to cool off too. Aizawa nodded. Then what? Family meeting. We'll explain what we're thinking. Hopefully that'll encourage him to explain his side of things. That makes sense. I jumped to conclusions. I wasn't logical. We both jumped to conclusions. We're both taking the blame for this one. How long should we give him? I don't think we should have that meeting tonight. It's late. I'm tired. You're tired. We'll do it in the morning. I'm always tired. You and Hitoshi both. I leaned over and gave Shouta a kiss on the forehead. Go get in bed, babe. I'm gonna go check on the kiddo. Make sure he's okay. Aizawa returned his kiss before going to the room. Aizawa hadn't been in their room for more than 5 minutes when he heard the scream. Shouta! He grabbed his capture weapon and ran to Hitoshi's room. Before he could even reach the door, Hizashi had thrown it open. Hizashi's voice was panicked when he spoke. Shouta, he's gone! Gone? Hizashi, what? Hitoshi, he's gone! He shoved past Hizashi, surveying the room. Sure enough, Hitoshi was gone. Fuck! What do we do, Sho? I'll go look for him. Where? He could have gone anywhere. What else can we do? I'll try calling him. Hizashi picked up the phone, put it on speaker, and dialed. It rang 3 times before it went to voicemail. He hung up on me. I'll try. Aizawa dialed. Both adults held their breath as it rang. It went straight to voicemail again. Aizawa hung up the phone and shoved his phone back into his pocket. Damn it. It's gonna be okay, Sho. We can look for him. He can't be that far, can he? Aizawa took a breath, grounding himself. Yeah, we can look for him. I'll go my route, you go yours. Sounds good. Aizawa landed on the roof of his apartment building with a soft thug. He searched his whole patrol route. No sign of Hitoshi. Where could he have gone? Has he been injured, kidnapped, worse? He shuddered. Now isn't the time of what-ifs. He just needs to find him. He tried calling Hitoshi's cell again. It went straight to voicemail. He must have turned his phone off. Or someone else turned it off. Next, he called Hizashi, who answered on the first ring. Shouta, did you find him? Aizawa sighed. I was gonna ask you that. I'm back at the apartment, on the roof. I just got there, taking the stairs up now. Aizawa had the rooftop door open behind him. He hung up and turned to see Hizashi. His husband spoke before he could. I have another idea we could try. I'm listening. I figured he wouldn't go near where we patrol. He pulled out a map, monitoring their house. He left from here. Our patrols don't center around our house. That's too obvious. There's a section near UA that's only a 20-minute walk from here, and it's in the opposite direction of our routes. I thought he might have decided to stay in this park. He motioned to a park near UA. I went to check it out, but he wasn't there. I thought you had an idea. I do. I am getting to it. He rolled up the map. I think we should call Nemuri. Nemuri? Why her? Her patrol goes right through there. And honestly, the more eyes, the better. Aizawa sighed, pushing his palms into his hands. That makes sense. Do you want to call or should I? I can do it. Are you doing okay, Sho? Yeah, I'm fine. Hizashi narrowed his eyes. He took a step closer and pulled Aizawa into a hug. Aizawa felt impossibly tense, and Hizashi squeezed a little tighter. It's gonna be okay. Aizawa let out a breath. I know. You've trained him yourself. You know he could hold on to his own. He finally relaxed into the hug. Yeah. Sashi, you don't normally call so late. What's up? Hitoshi's blood ran cold. His thoughts started racing. What's she going to do? Is she going to rat me out? What then? I rejected their calls. Oh, God, they're gonna kill me. Nemuri snapped her fingers to get his attention. Sashi, slow down. I could barely understand a word you're saying. She mouthed, calm down, at him. I don't know, Sashi. I haven't seen him. She winked at Hitoshi. Calm down, babes. Keep looking where you are, and I'll search my route. He could hear Hisashi saying something, but he couldn't make out what it was. I'll call if I find him. Stay safe. She hung up and put her phone back into her pocket. She flagged down the waitress for the check. Hitoshi noticed she left her number on the receipt. She put her hands on his shoulder. He tried and failed to hide a flinch. So, let's watch you back to your house. She started guiding him out of the restaurant. He panicked. Oh, wait. Didn't you just tell Yamada you hadn't seen me? I did, and I just saw you. So now I'm gonna bring you home. Why not just turn me in when he called? She paused at that. I think we needed to talk about what's going to happen when you get home. I think that it's better if we do that without your dads around. They started walking, side by side this time. He didn't know what they were going, but she seemed confident in their direction. You said you broke a rule. He looked at the ground. I did. And you said that in the past you'd be punished? Yeah. I don't know what you were expecting, but I don't think they're gonna punish you. How could you know that? I know them. As friends. Now they're parents. Parents could be different in person and in private. She was quiet after a while. They walked for a few more minutes before they reached a car. She unlocked it and started driving towards the Yamada Aizawa household. They sat in silence for a few minutes. She picked up the phone and called Hisashi. Hey, babes, guess what? There was a muffled response from Hisashi. I found him. A louder response this time, followed by a distant cry of Shouta from Hisashi. Dread built in his stomach as they kept driving. His anxiety had increased tenfold by the time they got to the Aizawa Yamada household. The two men were standing at the porch. When Nemuri pulled up, they practically ran down the stairs. I'm gonna say it again, kid. I don't think they're mad at you. Just worried, Nemuri said. She ruffled his hair and got out of his car. He followed suit. The second he closed the car door, he was pulled into a hug. Mike had him in a death grip that didn't leave the room for flinching, much less breathing. Oh my God! Hitoshi, we were so worried. Are you okay? It was hard to swallow and hard to speak. He managed to choke out a few words. I'm fine. Hisashi let him go. He started walking towards the house, but he was blocked by Aizawa standing in his path. Oh boy, how is this going to play out? Is he going to yell now or after Nemuri leaves? He was expecting yelling or at least a sharp word. They stood, looking at each other eye for a few agonizing seconds, and then Aizawa pulled him into a hug. It was a nice hug. Better than nice. It was almost perfect. Aizawa was warm and comforting. If Hitoshi weren't so on edge, he might have been relieved in it. Aizawa breathed a sigh, and squeezed just a little tighter. I'm so glad you're okay, he whispered. He let go of the dazed Hitoshi. Nodding to Nemuri, he started heading to the house. Hizashi was close behind. Hitoshi turned back to look at Midnight. She waved, blew a kiss, and walked back out of the driveway. Guess there's only place to go. Dread and guilt in his stomach, he followed Hizashi and Aizawa into the house. Okay, alright. I think the rest of the series is basically just gonna be dealing with that. I personally would love to pick up the series. I would love to pick up the series because I'm pretty sure it's gonna end and we're just gonna end on a random weird note. So I want to pick up the series and it just be nice. Am I gonna add Shindeku? Of course I'm gonna fucking add Shindeku. It's me. Who do you think the fuck I am? You think I wouldn't add Shindeku? I know there's other fics that I would love to pick up before this. I know some were better, and some were better, and someone better is another one that I would love to pick up. But that one's longer. Not to mention also, not only is it longer, is it a little more complicated because I would have to sit down and analyze Aizawa's stims, Aizawa's, all that stuff, right? Because when it comes to adding a character that's autistic, I like to sit down and psychoanalyze the character. I mean, I do that for most characters, but specifically, autistic characters, I like to put a little extra work in them and a little extra love and care just to make sure that they get represented properly. And not just like autistic characters, any character that has some illness that is not well known or something that is not well known. I would do it for gay characters and bi characters if I myself weren't so involved in the community. And because I know so much about it, I don't feel the need to do that as much, right? But if there's a character who has ADHD or autism or has some, I don't know, cancer, something has cancer, like cancer is more widespread, but I still want to research and know about it. Same with whenever I add a character having some medical emergency, know that I research the fuck out of that shit, right? Like, for example, I know I have one fic where I want a character who is pregnant to have the placenta be dislodged from the uterus wall, and I did a lot of research on that shit, and oh my fucking god. Is it a lot? There's a lot of implications. It's actually really interesting. So I know weird random facts about medical history and stuff like that. Even to a point where my OC Lily, whenever I cut her arm off, I research heavily on if that is even possible. I do a lot of research. Do I make mistakes? Yes, I do make mistakes. I'm human. There might be some small little things that I, put in my stories that aren't 100% true or whatever, right? I mean, I write fanfiction about people with quirks, so. But yeah, it's all stuff that I like to do a lot of heavy research on, so that one's gonna take a while. This one might not, so I might pick up this one. I'm having trouble. I'm hitting a creative block. I wish I could say this, which is weird. Supposedly this month was supposed to be not a creative block month for me, but for some reason it is, and it's quite annoying if I do have to say so myself. It is quite annoying if I'm being honest. Okay, but hopefully I surpass this soon. One can only pray and hope. I know learned behavior and safe is probably going to be one of those side projects that I have, but I'll see what I could do. As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.